What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about iQSTEL, ticker IQST. I spoke about iQSTEL in a Pennystock video that I made last week, and I got a lot of requests to do a full DD video on this company, so here it is. This stock has got some huge upcoming catalysts and will become a NASDAQ listed company in the coming months, but that's not all. iQST also have upcoming catalysts before the end of 2021. So if you find any value in this video, can you kindly tap that like button? It really helps the channel grow. I'm aiming to get 200 likes on this video, help me make it happen. And if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it could make you a lot of money. In recent weeks, stocks that I've talked about on the channel have been absolutely smashing it. Petrotech Energy is up over 12%, Beachbody is up over 13%, and AABB Asia Broadband is up over 40%. In fact, AABB is up over 200% since I alerted this stock just 2 months ago, so smash that like button. For those of you that have been following the channel over the past year, I have finally made my Patreon page live. This is something that I intended to do months ago, so that I can bring you the latest information as quickly as possible. Making videos takes hours to do, so this should allow me to bring you the information much quicker. This is not financial advice. I encourage everyone to do your own due diligence. Now let's get into it. iQSTEL is a US-based technology company offering leading-edge telecommunication and technology services for global markets. The company is traded on the OTCQX, ticker iQST. This company is a fully reporting penny stock with fantastic corporate governance, an independent board of directors and an audit committee. iQST offer leading-edge services in both business-to-business and business-to-customer divisions through its 7 subsidiaries across 5 separate business divisions. These include the blockchain division through its subsidiary, iQST, the technology division through award-winning subsidiary, IoT Labs, its fintech division through Global Money One, which uses a blend of industry expertise, state-of-the-art technology and compliance requirements to create disruptive solutions that deliver control, security and real-time payments and international money transfer. EVOS serves as a one-stop shop for the EV industry, while the telecom division is the largest of these, being made up of Swisslink, Etelex, Q Global and SMS Directors, all coming in under the iQS Telecom brand. The company has presence in 15 countries and its products and services are used in several industries such as telecommunications, EV, financial services, chemical and liquid fuel distribution industries. Through its subsidiaries, iQSTEL is interconnected with some of the world's largest telecommunication companies such as Vodafone, Verizon, Orange and even IBM. During 2021, iQSTEL announced that it became a debt-free company and is now completely debt-free with no convertible notes, warrants, promissory notes or settlement agreements from its balance sheet. And we will see this in more detail when I look at the balance sheet later in this video. iQSTEL business strategy is to develop their businesses with high margin and EBITDA contributions in areas such as EV, Internet of Things technology and blockchain solutions. This approach will make iQST one of the leaders as a one-stop shop for high-tech services. So iQSTEL CEO Leandro Iglesias, who I will look at in just a moment, issued a letter to shareholders earlier this week giving an update in conjunction with the company's ongoing process to uplist onto NASDAQ. First, he confirms the strategic investment deal in excess of $50 million and approved by the board of directors remains on track and anticipate the transaction finalizing before the end of the year. That is referring to the same deal that they talked about last week, where Leandro Iglesias said iQSTEL is in receipt of an investment proposal for funding that in total exceeds $50 million. The board has approved the general terms of the proposal and outlined conditions for management to proceed. My confidence level in finalizing the deal is high and I currently anticipate executing the agreement before the end of the year, but again, no deal is final until it's final. So this is very important because, as stated here, we are so far along in the negotiations, it is time to preview the potential of completing the transaction. So this week to be updating again saying that the deal is on track is great. With so few working days left until the end of the year, I expect that this deal will be done pretty soon. Secondly, we remain on track to finalize the previously announced SmartBiz acquisition on schedule in January. We have already announced a preliminary forecast of $80 million based on the expectations of our telecommunications business alone, We have now completed our forecasting of all business lines, and our board of directors has approved a 90 million 2022 net income positive revenue forecast for all our operations combined. So this is fantastic. Remember that just last month, iQSTEL released their latest financials that had shown revenue for the first 9 months of the year to be $46 million. So to be forecasting for nearly double that amount for next year just shows the level of growth that the company is achieving. Not only that, our management team is confident and our board of directors has endorsed our confidence that the combined operations of iQSTEL's 5 business lines will produce 90 million in revenue in 2022 and be profitable. So often we see companies expand rapidly, but it comes at the cost of profitability. But iQST have been heading towards profitability over the past few months, with a loss in the last quarter of less than $200,000 on revenue of over $16 million. And management have reiterated that they are confident in the plan to transition onto the NASDAQ exchange within the first 6 months of 2022, showing they have a history of both meeting and exceeding their objectives. Let's not forget that this is a company that not long ago was a pink sheet stock. They said that they would go through the steps OTCQB, OTCQX, and finally onto NASDAQ. So they have executed their plan exactly as they said they would. And I have just come across this article from last month that I found to be very interesting. This was written just after the last earnings report was released and makes a few good points. First of all, the author has rated the stock as a speculative buy. As he says here, it might have created more of a wow factor if the company had achieved profitability in Q3, but they did come very close, and apparently without the help of new revenue streams. Importantly though, the company did maintain a clear progression towards becoming profitable, and it looks very plausible that the shift will occur in Q4 if it has not already happened in Q4. As I mentioned a moment ago, the loss for Q3 was less than $200,000. This is a serious reduction on previous quarters' losses. iQST has not sold any shares since March 2021, and with the cash position and potential for profitability, if they do sell shares, it seems more than likely it would primarily be for M&A activity. So this is a very important point. The company does not need to dilute shareholders in order to fund operations. If they do decide to offer shares, it will be for the purpose of adding shareholder value with acquisitions. This is very important. iQSTEL decreased its general and administrative expenses slightly year over year and continues to see the benefit of becoming debt-free of toxic debts such as convertible notes and warrants. Interest expenses were less than 1% of last year's Q3 at only $6,000 for Q3 2021 versus $913,000 for Q3 2020. And finally, the valuation. Given some margin calculations here, we can expect iQSTEL's telecommunications services to achieve a margin of 19.06% or near it. I could easily see a fair market price for iQSTEL above $1 at a telecom average PE of 22.99. That alone could take the stock to about twice the current market value, if not more. And these calculations do not even consider further contributions for any other iQSTEL's products or services. Looking at the most recent financial statements, they have total assets of 7.5 million and total liabilities of 4.1 million. Of this, 1.2 million is made up of cash and cash equivalents. I never like to see a major part of assets being made up with goodwill, and there is 1.5 million of goodwill recorded here. But this does only amount to about 1/5 of total assets, and they still have in excess of 6 million in assets if we even disregard the goodwill. This gives the company a very strong balance sheet and a current ratio of nearly 2-to-1 in favour of assets, which is a huge improvement from the previous year where liabilities outweigh assets at a ratio of nearly 1.5-to-1. Looking at the income statement, they have a revenue for the quarter of 16 million and over 46 million for the year so far, giving iQST a total loss for the year of 3.1 million. But as we spoke about already, less than 200,000 of this loss is attributable to the latest quarter, and this goes a long way to back up management's views that they will turn profitable in the next quarter. It's always vital in these types of companies to have management who are both experienced and connected in order to help the company achieve its growth projections. Leandro Iglesias is the current co-founder, chairman of the board, and president and CEO of iQSTEL. He founded the company with one business objective: build a successful company from an idea to nasdaq. So the goal right from the very start was to get this company onto the nasdaq, which iQST are now very close to achieving. Alvaro Quintana is the company's CFO and other co-founder. He has developed a career of more than 20 years of experience in the telecommunications industry, focusing on regulatory affairs, strategic planning, value-added services, and international interconnection agreements. So together with the independent directors on the board, they oversee the entire group of companies, while the individual company CEOs run each division of the company's operations through each subsidiary. Each of these are highly experienced with decades of experience between them. I highly recommend checking out the company's website for more detail on these. Looking at the chart over the past 12 months, we can see that iQST is up over 500%. The stock did run up as high as $2 at the beginning of 2021 during the last bull run, but has been trading sideways for the past 6 or 7 months. Looking closer at the chart over the past 2 months, we can see this huge spike up in mid-November, around the time that the earnings were released. But after dropping back down, iQST stock is on the rise once more. And I expect this to continue. The fact that management have said that they expect to get this latest acquisition deal done before the end of the year, I think this will serve as a catalyst to drive the price higher. And with the plan to uplist to nasdaq, management need to get the share price higher than the current price of only 63 cents. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you've watched all the way through, you are a true legend, and I would really appreciate if you could hit that like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. This video was one of the most requested videos I had over the past week, so I would really appreciate if you could show your appreciation by smashing the like button. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one.